Hello and welcome to Pod Talk, the official podcast of the New England Podcasters Group, the community where podcasters across the region meet to inspire, learn, collaborate, and elevate their podcasting journey. I'm Julie DeLuca Collins, a founding member of the New England Podcasters Group, and each episode, my three co-hosts and I highlight the stories, strategies, and successes of podcasters across New England. Whether you're just starting out or you're a seasoned host with hundreds of episodes, you're in the right place. Let's get started.
Didn't you forget your other half?
Oh, sorry. I am here with my co-host in life and business.
Oh my God, you throw out co-hosts very generously. I'm just merely the sidekick.
Oh, that's what he said. Well, I am incredibly lucky. Hashtag handsome hot husband is joining me with this episode with two other incredible podcasters. Daniel, why don't you tell them a little bit about what you do?
I'm Julie's right hand, editor, producer, and I help her with her podcast. And actually, this has a lot to do with this episode. I've actually turned that into a business where I edit and produce for other women clients that Julie
works with.
But
okay, so this started because women who I worked with as a business coach said, hey, can I borrow your husband? Because I'm not techie at all, and I get overwhelmed with the tech. And I said, oh, yeah, just borrow him. And then all of a sudden, here we are, co-founders of Casa Confidence, the podcast, and co-founders of Casa Confidence Productions. But enough about us, because listen, you have done an incredible job at supporting me. And I know that I would not be here as a podcaster if it weren't for you. So Casa Confidence also has had a wonderful guest join.
Yeah, it's not all about us today.
It's about everybody, but
we have incredible New England podcasters here in the room.
Yeah, well, Jenny B, I will introduce. Well, I'm going to let you introduce yourself because I just love the work that you're doing. We've met before. We're a part of this group, and I'm going to let both of you go through and tell us a little bit about, let's see, the name of your podcast, who you are, and the mission of your podcast.
Okay. So I'm Jenny Belanger, and I am the owner and founder of Jenny B Designs, our website design agency. My podcast is Website Design Made Simple. And my mission in both my business and my podcast is to help other small business owners attract ideal clients and make more money with their websites. I love sharing easy, actionable tips on how small business owners can make some tweaks to the website that they have to attract more ideal clients. And every week, the episodes are short, actionable, and right to the point. That's kind of my style, and that's what I do.
Well, I have to give her props because she is not kidding. Jenny came to speak in my mastermind, and my ladies in my community just loved her. They have actually said, and I don't know if I told you this, but they've actually said that your visit to the Confident You Mastermind was one of their favorites.
Oh, that's awesome.
And they got so much out of it and tangible stuff. And I think that as business owners, we're always looking for the right information to help us and to allow us to run our business more successfully and definitely make business. But it's not all about the business. We have another podcaster with us, and this is a podcaster that does seasons. So turning it over to you.
Thank you so much, Julie. This is an honor to be sitting with you all because I feel like I've just started in the podcasting world, although it's been 7 years now, 6 to 7 years.
Yeah, how amazing. You're amazing.
Thank you. My name is Yamini, and I run a very hyper-local podcast that focuses on everyday women in my neighborhood. We bring stories of the women around us, the quiet strength that's not always heard or seen. So I'm a host, creator, and producer of other podcast shows. I started with Women of Valence, so it's always going to be my baby. And Jenny, who doesn't need website made simple? Oh my God, I've struggled through it in the initial years. And because of being like coming from an engineering background, I often lean towards WordPress. And I realized when everybody was complaining about how complicated it is with all the plugins and things, I was enjoying it. But now I hate it. I don't want to do work. No, it's done. Thank you. We need you. And Julie and Dan, what a good combination. It's crazy how much I would have loved my husband to take over my tech stuff, not tech stuff, the other stuff. But he became the human chat GPT before chat GPT entered the scene. So he really was my go-to when I had to correct my typos. And, when you're speaking to your kid in a different language, you lose your own vocabulary. You're like, what was that word again? So yeah, over to you, Julie.
Well, I have to say, what an incredible background and stories that we're going to bring to the listeners today. I know that I started because, well, Dan got me podcasting equipment. Now, why did you start?
Should I?
Yeah, take it.
This is going to sound like I was never an avid listener of podcast. And when I came to States after living in Canada for 3 years, and then I've been in different places, but Wayland was my first home in States, and I realized that even when I didn't have friends, women all around me gave me these really warm vibe, and I saw that the stories were not being told. There were beautiful, incredibly smart, talented women taking a step back, taking a step up, and no one was talking about it. And I'm like, here I am in a new country with a new baby, brand new baby.
Oh,
And I was like, I need a village. I need to speak about, tell their stories. And I wasn't ready. How do I do that? Podcasting. And those days, and it's not really far off, but those days, podcasting was not it was not as revolutionized as it is today. It was amazing. I just, jumped in, and as I dived, I grew my wings. I learned editing, and I realized my love for editing. I love it.
oh, good for you. Now, I will tell you, I started to listen to your podcast because I listened to Jenny's, but Yamini, I felt like I wanted to move to your community because of these amazing, incredible women that you're highlighting. And I so appreciate that you're bringing to the forefront that we may not meet everybody in these communities, but every community has incredible individuals who are making a mark in the lives of others, whether or not we know them. So thank you for that. Now, what was the idea behind the podcast?
So the idea was, just like I said, there was a quiet strength in these stories. And podcasting is not about a mic and a story only.
Mm-hmm.
It's about a space you create for people to feel seen, heard, and valued. And there I realized that, can I provide that space? So there were 4 fronts that I came in. I came in as a woman, I came in as a mother, I came in as an immigrant, and I came in as a listener. I wasn't an avid listener, but I wanted the podcast to be sounding calm and smooth, and the soundscape should be led. And then as a woman, I knew every woman has a story. Either they don't realize it, or they need to step up to realize it. And then as a mother, I wanted a village for me and my kid in this new country where I was brand new, and my baby had to thrive all the way. He's American, but I'm immigrant. So I needed that perspective. And the third one, the most important, was, what was the third one? So the woman, mother, listener,
And
immigrant.
community?
Yes. There is something about me, the way I have been brought up. I think there's a huge urge to serve the community where I live in. Whether it was Canada, it was Germany, or India, I have always been attached with my community. And I've tried to add value to where I'm living and to serve. Yeah. So that was the wise.
You're a lady after my own heart, because service is incredibly important to me. And community is one of the reasons why I believe we create space for women to thrive. I know everyone has a story. And the fact that we're creating this platform for individuals who may be lacking the confidence to share their stories, but you're creating a space that is so intimate, but yet supportive. And I think that that's really a wonderful place to land.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. Jenny, I wonder the same question to you specifically. And I, of course, know you from many of the meetings here at New England Podcasters, but I also got to visit with you. You've been on my show. Why did you start specifically? And I know that you are looking to support women in business. You're coming every week with some incredible tips that I learned a lot. We had to rebuild our website real quickly, and I had to go to your catalog and like, okay,
I
what
have
does she
to say
say?
you did a great job.
I did not pay him to say that.
You did a great job in using Genevieve's
Yeah.
as a reference point and as an advice. When did you realize that your voice and your talent needed to have a mic or a platform?
Well, Julie and Yamini, you both have such beautiful conversations, and I love that warmth and connection that you make on both of your shows and your support to women. And my start was a little bit different. I wanted to just help other mostly women business owners. That's who I mostly work with.
Yeah.
And my way to contribute that, instead of having conversation, was to share ways that they can further themselves in their businesses and to get ahead. Because I feel like when you are a business owner, and a lot of online business owners, you're isolated and don't have that community. And I love to be a resource and a place that others can learn from and get some real results and just have a calm, steady voice, because I feel like we have lots of voices out there telling you all the things that you should do and like you have to make this happen. And I just want to offer a nice, gentle perspective that can make a real difference in someone's business and in someone's life. And that's where I got started. I just love teaching and helping others online.
Well, it certainly is important. And as a business coach, right? The need for individuals who are launching or growing a business and creating income to have a website that works for them and have a space where people can find them, right? Because awareness is one of the first steps in being able to lead people to work with you. So I think that a lot of people, especially these days, undermine the necessity. But it is that business card online. It is your first footprint. It is the place where people land. So I highly recommend that go and check out not only the podcast, but also if you were listening and you're thinking, well, how can I work through creating a website? I'm telling you, this is the right resource. But
She's already on my mind, and I cannot tell you how eager I am to send her all my websites that are not working for me.
Julie's website is beautiful. You've done an amazing job.
Thank you.
You're so on brand, and you understand your audience. You know what they need to get to, and you do it in such a nice way. So you've done a great job.
Well, thank you. We just launched the website for the Casa Confidence Productions, which I thought, okay, well, maybe this needs to live on my website. But then I realized, again, as a business coach, I said, this is a complete different entity. So it needs its own website. And I think we highlight a little more of the tech and talent behind Casa Confidence Productions in that site.
Why do you call it a Casa Confidence?
Oh, okay. You sure?
Well, Casa de Confidence. Casa is in Espanol. So Julie, bilingual, Spanish and English. So it's the House of Confidence.
Wow.
And it's just when we started our podcast.
Well, I was laid off.
It was a great name.
Yeah. I was laid off at the beginning of the pandemic.
We made all the mistakes in the beginning, though. We made our art first. We named it. We didn't test anything.
Wow.
Casa de Confidence. So people have the question: what is Casa de Confidence?
Yeah.
Well, it's been there long enough. We're not changing it.
Well,
No, absolutely not.
Well, yeah,
intriguing. It makes you start a conversation because it makes you curious about the word. So no, don't change it.
No, I
we
would
would
never.
Now, most people don't know this, but the way things went down, when I got laid off at the pandemic, at the beginning of the pandemic, I knew I wanted to launch my own thing where I help women. And I'd already been coaching women and doing something on the side, working with executives, because as I grew through the corporate ladder, many women would say to me, "Oh, you're so confident. That's so great." And I'd come back and I'm like, "No, I don't always have it together." And similarly to you, I wanted to create a space for women saw their ability and potential.
Mm.
Now, when I had no intention of starting a podcast, even though I had talked about it for over, I don't know, years, 10, whatever.
A very long time.
As I launched the business, remember 2020, March, it was about the time that April was going to come, and I was planning a big milestone birthday. And I was so excited because we were going to have this big party in April. And I thought surely this lockdown thing would be done. And Dan saw,
I was not sure.
Dan's writing on the wall, and he one morning said, "You're starting a podcast."
Yeah, I had to keep her busy or my honey-do list would have grown exponentially.
Little did he know that his list did grow. But he got the equipment and he said, "You're starting a podcast." And I thought, oh my gosh. And the first thing he said, he's like, "Don't worry, I will do the tech and you are,"
The talent.
well, I call it the talk.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Second talent.
I have a little mug at home I had made. It's got a picture of, it's got the tech with the thing. And I showed it to Julie for the first time. I turned it around and it's got her picture.
I don't know about that. So yes,
Hey.
that's where the name came from. Now we have always, I'm DeLuca, he's Collins, DeLuca Collins. Our home is Casa de Collins. So as we were sitting in the dining room and we have a sign that says Casa de Collins, I thought, oh, Casa de Confidence, because it just made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So.
And your branding is so powerful with the red and the punchiness too, with the word confidence. I think it makes such an impact.
Yay.
It's making me way too eager to show her my website so she can audit it.
Your website is, first of all, your website is beautiful. I went to your website and is incredibly well laid out. And of course, I am not the website expert, but I can tell you that it spoke to me. It gave me a sense of not only what you do with your podcast, but a little sense of what your values are, which I think it's very, very important in that realm.
Yeah. To bring out your personality online. I always say that. And your space is warm and you know that you're going to have conversations and it's going to build community.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, I guess the question for many of us, because we see this in the world of podcasting, and everybody's heard the word Podfade. And it's certainly something that we feel incredibly strong on because there's reasons why people fade. But what keeps you coming back to the mic?
I come back because it's something that I've committed to do, and I understand how much value it brings to my listeners and to my business and making myself better educated. I'll tell you, every single episode, I have to sit down and think about what's this episode about, and then I'll do some research, and then I'll think of my clients. And every episode that I outline and share, I'm learning something. And Podfade is real. I'll tell you, there are times when I don't feel like doing something. But I get around that by really pre-planning my content. I definitely work ahead so that I know. Like over the summer, I really don't record too much. I try to work ahead and make it work around my life. And then if there's a week randomly, and this happens a lot, where I just want to get into it and just record a bunch of episodes, and you just got to take advantage of that. So I know have a schedule, and I really kind of commit to that and make sure that I keep going.
Perfect previous planning prevents problems.
Yeah. Oh, that's very good.
And it's not mine. My dad used to say that to me all the time. And of course, there's perfect previous planning promotes peak performance. It's the other one.
That's a lot of P's.
And a lot of P's, the 5 P's.
You're on the edge of being really corporate right now.
Very nerdy, and that's your job.
Oh, yes.
What about you? What keeps you coming back to the mic? And you are doing seasons, correct?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. But I want to highlight this, that I'm the producer and editor for 4 other shows out of which 2 of them have faded. So I have an experience with what happens in the background, and 2 of them are on the verge of fading. I have to tell you what has worked for me, because this is a hyperlocal podcast and community based. People keep me accountable. There was a time when I started accountability, like self accountability is a big thing. Yes, it can help you, but then your audience grows and then they expect. How about Yamini? How about you interview this woman? You know, you go into a party and they're like, even if you're not thinking about the season, you have to think about the season.
Right.
And I realized that I had this responsibility now that I have become, and I'm not blowing myself up. I'm just saying I am also sort of a local historian now. I'm
Blow
digital.
yourself up, lady. You blow yourself up. This is your platform. Come on.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of a big, huge responsibility. I want the audience to know that I don't take it lightly when I have to bring these stories, and they will be there forever for our town. So, as a local historian, I mean, I shouldn't be calling that myself, but that's my job as well. And doing seasons, make sure that you're enjoying life. You're updating yourself with other podcasts, because as a producer, I wanted to upgrade. I wanted to learn from other shows. And that gap between the seasons gives me the time to, get deep and dirty with other stuff. And all the mistakes that I can do here in my hyperlocal podcast. But when I'm doing a radio podcast or other shows, I was learning so much. I had someone to be accountable to, and that made me feel really happy, because then the creativity has different channels. You're not just focused on one show, but it has its own cons as well, which also means that you have to be very specific. Just like Jenny said, when you have everything planned, then you keep going about it.
Yeah.
But then it could be very overwhelming for a podcaster who is rolling out episodes every week or every month or even monthly podcasts. You know, I have heard from podcasters that they find it very hard to get into their creative groove, and they just don't want to release an episode just like that without having worked on it. So I think Podfade is a very real thing. And there are 2 things for me. One is the money. And nobody talks about money. In our field, in the creative field, in a lot of creative fields, money is a struggle. And especially with women who cannot ask their worth, even when they have the qualification to back it, the experience to back it. So I saw that other shows of mine, people were either overwhelmed with their own life, B, they didn't see a value in it. And I think it was one of my jobs to make them see the value. As Jenny said, you know, she works with women clients for their and podcasting is a great marketing tool. It could be branding yourself, it could be branding a business, but people have now started to realize it. And there's so much content out there that it's very hard to keep it seasonal too. So there are a lot of things that contribute to fading out in the podcasting world. One fun fact while coming to this recording, I was actually feeling very excited. In a long time, I have not felt excited about seeing people in person, recording like this. Now we use Riverside, we use Zencaster and Zoom and whatnot. And now, to be able to see our beautiful faces, it's amazing.
Well, I have to say that everything that you said, the person inside me wants to stand up and cheer, because you're absolutely right. Women do not give themselves the opportunity to charge what they're worth, to speak up, and to not be afraid of monetizing and not be afraid of really standing up in their power. And for me, again, that's one of the reasons that I'm incredibly passionate about the work that we do in particular. Over 624 million podcasts. Only 30% of those are women podcasters. And yet the majority of people consuming podcasts are women. And for me, this is incredibly related also, like someone like Jenny, who has a business, has a podcast, and the podcast is helping her create the authority, build her brand, and also help others and create an impact. Now, most women entrepreneurs are earning less than $100,000 a year. So being able to understand that there is potential, but you also have to step up into your power. And that means being consistent, coming back to the mic, even when it's not easy. This episode of Pod Talk is brought to you by the New England Podcasters Group, a supportive, welcoming community built to break the isolation so many podcasters feel. With every meetup, you'll find real connection, collaboration, celebration, and a featured speaker offering actionable advice to help you level up your podcasting skills. Whether you're just starting or ready to fine-tune your podcast, New England Podcasters Group is here to help you with a supportive, welcoming group. Learn more and join us at newenglandpodcasters.group. We'd love to meet you. Now, Dan, from your perspective, because you're surrounded by women, not just me. We don't have children, but you have.
I grew up in a female household, so yes.
Yeah.
No wonder you're such a supportive
So-
husband.
So why do you think individual, from what you have seen,
Yes.
why do you think women keep coming back, or our podcasters, for instance, keep coming back to the mic?
Coming back to the mic,
Mhm.
this is what I have to say about that. Just 40, 50 years ago, women had to ask their husband to open a checking account for them. Today, the world's changing. We've worked on changing our world so it's more equal for men and women. There's a lot more to that. But this platform of podcasting is one of those things where you can freely take your voice, put it on stage, and let it be heard. And I think that's maybe a reason, I'm speaking as a man, but that may be a reason why women are coming to podcasting and letting it's a great platform for that to happen. That and getting on YouTube also.
Now, for someone who's shy, Jenny, is it hard to come back to the mic? And
That's a great question.
I'm saying, shy because I don't think you're shy, but I know that a lot of people are hearing that. And I think maybe you can address that for us because
Yeah.
you see that.
I am an introvert. I don't think that I'm outgoing and social, but I can get along in social situations. And actually, coming to terms with having my voice out there was something that I had to wrap my head around. And I knew I had things that I wanted to share. And it took some time to say my voice deserves a place out there, but I knew it did. And so once I got going and hearing other people just give me that feedback, I listened to this episode and I learned this, or when I work with a client and they've heard my episodes and they found me through podcasting and they want to work with me because they align with what I said, it makes everything worth it. And it makes me feel like more empowered. I knew my voice deserved to be out there, but it just helps me. And it's a really special place. And I think it's a great place for introverts.
So good. So it is a great place for introverts.
It is a great place for introverts. I always say I'm a extroverted introvert, but I wasn't always that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a great place for someone who has the introvert tendencies to bring themselves out and
Dan can't help
pull out of the shell a little bit if you're in a shell. Not every introvert's in a shell.
And you get to meet such amazing people. Like I've had conversations with Julie and she just has so much infectious energy and we have such great talks because she can, pull out that information and it's a wonderful place to meet other people and to have those conversations that you might not normally have when you're around other people just in social situations.
Yes.
It's going to be my new nickname for you.
What?
My wonderful infection. She's right. You are infectious.
Yeah.
Well, this is why he is an extrovert now because he has no choice.
I have to keep up.
He has to keep up for sure. I think that, again, podcasting is a perfect medium for individuals who are either extroverts or introverts or somewhere in between because we all have something that it's worth somebody else listening to. We have a story, we have a message, we have a take on what life is all about. And it doesn't mean that it would be great if millions of people hear the message that they need to hear and they want to hear. But also, it is great that the one person that needed to hear what you said is there. And for you, Yamini, you're creating legacy for the women who you're interviewing. You're creating legacy that maybe they didn't anticipate they're going to have in this medium, but you're giving them the platform for them to come to the mic, share their story, and then somebody else coming along and saying, wow, that may be possible for me.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, Julie. I was listening to you and I wanted to add one more point and also follow up on Jenny, because what Jenny said that, this is a space for introvert, extrovert, all kind of words, I wanted to add to this. I was a new person, like I was new in this country. So for me as an extrovert, I don't know, I still can't define myself as an extrovert, but I could hide behind the mic. And for 1 full year, my community didn't know who I was. And I was scared of the fact I didn't know if they will embrace my um, authenticity, the accent, and how I looked and what I didn't want to come out of. There was no video then. Thank God. I was like, this is going to go directly into the YouTube and it's going to be all audio. And it wasn't that I was not catching up with the technology. It's just that I didn't want to put myself out there. But the mic was the safest, the most beautiful, sacred place for me to tell stories my way without pretense.
Yeah.
So I think that brings people also to the mic, because women know that, if nobody's looking, I can talk and talk endless. So sorry, getting back to your question. So you said, I'm creating legacy for women. Thank you so much. But what was the follow-up question? Sorry.
What brings you back to the mic time and time again?
Oh, they do.
They do. Yeah.
They are I had to respond to my emails. And I was so thankful to God. I jumped out of my couch and said, they are making me work, even when I'm depressed, low. Every winter in New England, I go through this seasonal disorder.
Oh, girlfriend, you and I both.
And I have to be literally kicked out of the house. Otherwise, I won't even work out. And then I realized that women don't stop referring stories, and when they have a new business, they're like, oh, here is the business. So we have a very beautiful, connected community, word of mouth, and a way to lift not just the stories and women, but the local businesses around. Our podcast is listened to in 50 towns in Massachusetts and 31 countries consistently. Second, third year, we crossed 10,000 downloads, just like that, organic, no ads, nothing. So that tells you why women are talking about it, and they don't mind my accent. They don't mind my mistake on the mic, although I do cut them out. But as an editor, I can do that. I like to call myself a good editor, if not a good host. And I realized this is it. They are going to always bring it. So I can lean on this podcast. This is my sugar husband, daddy.
Ooh, your sugar daddy and husband.
That they will always bring me out of the dumps.
I have to say thank you for sharing something. Again, going back to, this is so meta, the power of podcasting. You mentioned that in the winter here in New England, right, we have seasonal affective disorder. You have it, I have it. And being able to have a mic where we can say that, and then somebody will listen and say, I'm not alone. I'm not the only one. I'm not broken. There's nothing wrong with me. I think that to me is it. This is why I come back to the mic, because when I bring someone on, and I do some solos, but I love the interview. I love the interaction. And I know that there's always an experience that someone is sitting at home in this, wallowing in despair because they see only the things that they think are broken
true.
about them.
Yes.
And they think that they're alone in all this, but we're not. We're very much alike in so many different ways, much more than we are different.
Absolutely.
Mm. So earlier we were talking about Podfade, and I know we have tools, routines, mindsets that help us stay consistent in our podcasts. I know that because Julie tells me.
Consistent action gives you traction.
Yes. So
Not a good one.
So that's part of the success. That's how we set up our clients in the beginning. We help them plan everything out, help them get things in place. Their podcast is never not theirs, but we help them with the systems so they can be successful and not suffer pod fade. So we use certain tools for that. I'd like to know from the both of you if you have a number one tip for making podcasting sustainable and fun, so there's less likelihood of pod fade. So if you could address that, I would like to know, because the more tools I have, the better.
So I'm just going to take the floor. And I want to tell two things for the beginners and for someone who's been doing it for seasonal broadcasters. So for the beginners, whenever I'm mentoring people who want to start podcast, I tell them to start journaling 5 years worth of ideas.
Oh, so good.
Yes.
I'm gonna steal that.
And I did it. I had this little journal when I started doing the podcast, and it had pigs with wings. It said, like, it's metaphor of pigs can fly. I had infographic. I had a tree. And then when I launched my podcast, I collected market research all in one launch event. So in the arts gallery, I had a pod tree and I had a thought bubble, and I said, what are the topics you want to listen to? And then I matched it up with the topics that I had on the tree. And I had 5 years worth of ideas, because I knew that if I'm going about it, I do not want to fade. I do not want to stop trying and churning out stories. And eventually, of course, you learn, you edit things out, but then that gives you a lot of support. This is for the beginners. Now, coming back to professionals who are doing it on regular basis, like you and me and all of us here. For us, one of the strategies that I really feel is important right now in the AI world is the human interaction, just like we are having it right now. You know how much it fills my cup? I'm going to go back and talk about it on my stories. I'm going to go back and post about your website and your podcast, and that fills my heart. So having a human interaction and not working alone in a studio is definitely going to get you out in the world. It's important that you're attending the conferences. Conferences are one of the best ways to connect with people, to understand what new ideas, what new technology is coming in. And that's how I got to know the German software I work in. I work with Hindenburg Pro, and I have been working with it for the past 4 or 5 years now. And I have never touched Audacity, and that's audacious. But, I do not like the interface. If it is not aesthetically pleasing, I'm not going there. But I got to know about this software where transcription was done way before AI just took over. So I'm just saying, conferences, people are your best upgrades. You have to learn to put yourself out. For professional podcasters, the way to not fade is to keep upgrading themselves. And I say this to not you guys or to the audience listening. I say it to myself, because as I sit here, I was talking to Ryan about the setup here, who's the director here. And I realized that he's what he's doing is an incredibly, supportive thing for single podcasters. Like, imagine I'm interviewing, but I don't have anybody to take my videos. All I have to do is to keep a camera somewhere so that can look at me. Now there is Owl, which turns its head and takes your videos. So unless you go out, you're not getting to know those technical bits.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So that's my strategy.
And I want to second, conferences are awesome for all the reasons that you talked about. but they're also awesome because you can go to karaoke with your New England podcaster friends and dance the night away. So
take it out in front of the mic.
Loud in front of the mic. Go for it, Jenny.
I have two things. I think the first is having the right mindset. I always say progress over perfection. I think that applies in my business and podcasting. If you're starting out, if you're going, just do it. Like, you're going to learn as you go through. Things are going to change. You don't have to wait until it's perfect to launch something or get going. And then to follow along that point, I think the New England Podcasters Group, meeting other people who are doing what we're doing, meeting that community so that we can all learn from each other and find out like what's working, what's not working, the best tools, and having a resource, a community. And it's been such a beautiful spot that I've been in to be part of this group because I've learned so much from others and we all, can share. And so I think finding that community and understanding that it doesn't have to be perfect. Just keep going.
That is the biggest thing, Jenny. It has been my problem. Like, I want it all to be perfect and I don't post.
Yeah.
I'm not putting myself out there. That is one of the biggest hurdles for creators. And when I don't know if you guys have seen the Time 100 creators list.
Yeah.
It's out now. And I think Steve Bartlett, if his name is,
The Diary of a CEO. He's my boyfriend.
It's about, putting yourself out there. He says something very beautiful in his article, says embarrassment is the key to getting out there, something like that.
Right.
You have to be embarrassed. Don't worry about the perfection. Thank you, Jenny, for reminding.
And I used to edit everything perfectly, and I realized I'm not going to. Like, this is how it is. This is how it flows. It makes you, more human. People can relate to you, and it doesn't have to be perfect.
Oh, I have to write
Get out and do it.
Yeah. But I was never happy with my edits in the beginning.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I have clients I edit for, so when I'm doing that, I'm trying to edit perfectly. But for Julie
likes it raw.
She likes it raw.
I decided that in the very beginning that I was not going to worry. I have dogs that are my coworkers, so they're going to bark from time to time. I'm going to go into a coughing fit, and it's okay. I want to demystify. And, I joke about Stephen Bartlett being my boyfriend. He's more,
You do go to sleep with him every night.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
He's part of my board of directors. I listen to individuals who I want to learn from. Now, that list from Time, I think 50% of that are podcasters.
Yes.
Which excites me till no end because we are recognizing that podcasting is a serious medium. And by the way, the other thing that we should talk about when it comes to perfection, I heard something at a conference with all my friends here in New England podcasters when John Lee Dumas said, perfectionism is you being a coward.
Oh.
Yeah. And you being, it's
wow.
It hit me. I was like, what?
Oh, does that mean all the, so for people who don't know, I'm going to be editing this episode later. Does that mean I need to leave all my filler words in? Because I didn't hear one from the three of you, but me, I heard them every time they came out of my mouth.
From me, yeah.
From me as well. Tons from me too.
Plenty of words from me. So, Jenny, want to bring us home kind of with that question? And then I want to do a quick lightning round. And this guy is telling me we should wrap up, but I am long-winded. So, and tell me, what keeps you coming back?
Just knowing the difference that I'm making when I hear from people and just having a space to share. And it really is my I won't say therapy, but it's just a place where I can go and share what's going on in my mind. And it's a space that's mine that I can share with others. Just keeps me going.
How about you, Daniel?
What keeps me coming back?
To the mic and to supporting podcasters.
Because you told me I have to be there Sunday mornings.
It's true.
You know what the thing is? You talked about community. For me, so Julie records her episodes with her interviewees, and those are in the can. They're sitting there, and then the day we release, we come to the mic, we do our intro. So that is the day of release. And it's such a, lack of a better word, an intimate moment between me and Julie, so we can just sit and talk. We're recording it, and some things we need to get in, but
You guys are pod dating.
yes,
We're pod dating. Oh,
we're pod dating.
We should monetize that. I'm going to put it in social media.
And
Do you
that's-
want a pod date?
And that is community. We are our community there. And the other part that lights me up inside is that I know her interviews with people are affecting other people's lives. And I'm proud of her because she's a really good interviewer.
He's
So
my husband.
I'm just saying. Well, but
I'm going to make my husband listen to this. Yes.
so and then as far as what brings me back to the tech and all that, I just love it. I love the tech.
Yes, he does.
I love I do a lot of rescue stuff with sound, and I love taking something that sounds like, oh my gosh, and making it sound good and making it listenable. So I just like doing that. I guess that's an introvert thing, working with your tech.
Making a piece of art.
I do
Right?
that.
I like that website too. Yeah. I like
Yeah.
that.
It is an art. I didn't answer something earlier about making things easier about
Sure. Go
I
ahead.
didn't answer my own question.
Answer your own question.
And that is getting help. Do not be afraid to go out and get help.
Mm-hmm.
Ask for help. And that's part of community also is
That's right.
part of the community is you're getting things from other people.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be afraid. I'm going to steal your phrase, Julie.
Oh, I love this phrase.
Do what you do best and delegate the rest.
Yeah, I think that that's the one thing that I learned throughout my professional career, because in the very beginning, it was very hard to give something up, to say, they're not going to do it like I do. They're not going to have it. But at times, that's what really allows you to be in the moment. It's not easy for me to let my assistant help with show notes at times because I want to write them. I want to be the one it's my stamp on it. But my stamp really comes from the heart to hearts that I tend to have with my guest. And yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dan, I'm going to go into, okay.
Uh-oh.
So I'm going to go into something that I've been doing lately on the podcast that I'm getting a lot of life from. And I learned this from Stephen Bartlett, of course. See, I told you, we have a relationship. It's a lightning round. It's fire, fun, fast, and only one word, whatever comes to mind first. And I'm going to go and point at each of you. Okay. Dan, favorite podcast tool or software?
DaVinci Resolve.
Jenny, favorite podcast tool or software?
Descript.
How about for you?
Hindenburg.
Oh, you did say that. Okay.
You know what your favorite tool though is?
What?
The one that you're using.
My mic.
No, the one that you're using that you
Oh.
like to use. I mean, basically.
Oh, you see, you're looking for me. You are 100% correct. And if you're a listener starting a podcast, or if you're a podcaster, you can get the recommendations, you can get feedback from everybody.
And that's what I want to say. I said DaVinci Resolve. You said Descript. You said Hindenburg. All wonderful, great tools. What works best for you?
That's right. And you said that you love the interface. And I think that that's exactly what makes sense. If you love the interface and you can work it, then that's your tool, and that's the best tool. One wish you knew before launching. Yamini?
I should have had 10 years worth of ideas.
Okay.
I wish I knew what real stats look like for podcasts before I would do it.
Okay. How about you, Daniel?
Something I wish I knew. That's a hard question for somebody that knows so much.
Oh my God. You gotta be kidding me.
For people who don't know me, that's joking. I don't really think that.
No, Dan, you're flexing. We need to.
So okay,
I'll
flex.
Yeah. He's not one to flex.
What do I wish I knew?
Yeah, before you started podcasting. This is a lightning round.
This is tough. I don't know what I wish I would have known. Hey, I wish I would have known. Okay, this is it. I wish I would have known that on YouTube and Dr. Google, there's so much information out there that's not suited towards the basic podcaster who's out there. Basic podcaster who's like, oh, I got a mic. I'm gonna get that Blue Yeti microphone because it's cool. No, you ought not do that. Well, the reason the Blue Yeti is not appropriate for a home podcaster is because it's a condenser
mic.
and it picks up all your echoes and all your noises. So we didn't buy the Yeti, but I bought 2 condensers, which are kind of cool, and they made your voice sound awesome, but they pick up everything behind you. So we immediately, so I started investing in like soundproofing stuff.
Yeah, he bought a whole bunch of like moving blankets.
And then I was told that's too ugly and you can't have that on the wall.
And I thought, what are you doing? No, thank you.
Grab the dynamic microphones and
That's right.
a couple editing tools, and
You're good.
yeah. So yeah, get help in the beginning. Ask questions in the beginning.
It feels like that is me and speaking for me.
So
No,
wow.
so much with you.
Introverts and engineers, I'm the odd man out. That never happens. Okay.
yeah.
So for me, the one thing that I wish I knew before I started podcasting, how much, I don't want to get verklempt, but how much I would get touched learning from others. But most of all, the thing I wish I knew about podcasting too is that I would be in a place where I get to, gonna say this, make my dreams come true of really loving, supporting, and being that person for others.
Hey Julie, we're getting the wrap it up from Andy. I think we're gonna have to cut this lightning round short.
Okay. So Jenny, where can people find you?
They can find me on my website, jennybdesigns.com, or my podcast, Website Design Made Simple.
And how about you, Yamini?
Very simple, womenofvalen.com. You'll find me there and you'll find the email as well. And if you want to check out my personal website, it's yaminiranjan.com. It's awaiting Jenny's audit and her eyes on it. So yes,
And my website is Casita Confidence.
No.
Oh, no. What's the main website?
GoConfidentlyCoaching.com.
And we have a new website, CasitaConfidenceProductions.website.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Well, thanks for tuning into Pod Talks, powered by New England Podcasters Group. If you enjoyed today's episodes, be sure to subscribe, rate, share it with fellow podcasters, and leave a review. It really helps more creators to find our community. You got an idea for a future episode or want to be featured? We'd love to hear from you. Visit us at newenglandpodcasters.group and connect with us on Instagram and LinkedIn. And if you're ready to take your podcasting journey even further, become a member of the New England Podcasters. You'll get exclusive access to discounts, resources, speaking opportunities, and a seat at the table with some of the region's most passionate podcasters. Join us today at newenglandpodcasters.group/become a member, and let's build something incredible together. Until next time, keep creating, keep connecting, keep amplifying your voice. The world needs you, and go confidently in the direction of your dreams.